Hello, welcome to my second knitting podcast where I talk about everything I've crafted, mostly knitted, since August, I think, so the second part of 2025. It is now the 21st of December 2025, so probably everything I will do for this year. First, starting with what was ongoing in the last podcast, I had this kind of self-designed bandana that was done. The only thing missing was a button, and this is done. I basically used a spare button from, I don't even know exactly, like a cardigan or something, you know, like usually in the with the etiquette there is some spare button that I'm not very good at keeping, so they usually end up in the trash, to be fair. And so yeah, I use that, and I use it fairly often. I'm not somebody that uses a lot of hair accessories, but this one I do use it pretty often. If I'm fully transparent, it's very often a way like to hide a little bit dirty hair when it's not too dirty, but a little bit. So it hides it very well, and I can still keep my hair down like it for an extra day, which always nice. It still rolls. I did block it back when I finished it, but it still rolls. I think it's just because it's jersey. I don't know. But anyway, once you have it on the head, it doesn't roll, so no problem. I really enjoy this, and I really like the very subtle texture on it, so I'm really happy with this. Now, second finished object that was work in progress. I realize now that I never weaved in the ends, and this is a Christmas present, so I really need to do it now. But it's a sort of Sophie scarf. I discussed about it last time that I was making it. I ended up making it much bigger than the typical Sophie scarf. Maybe it's closer to a Sophie's shawl, but I never purchased that pattern, so I don't know if there is any differences between if the Sophie shawl is something different than just a very big Sophie scarf. I wouldn't know. And basically what I ended up doing is trying to make it roughly like making the increase and the increases roughly at the same frequency that the patterns calls for, but I was not counting very well, like very thoroughly, so that I could kind of like work on it faster, meaning, you know, you can probably see here, but it's not as like straight lines as the pattern would make it, but I don't really mind. When you wear it, it's really like not visible at all, so yeah, I don't mind, and I hope it's for one of my aunts. I hope she'll like it. Of course, I need to weave in this, and somewhere there's those two, like, but I'll call it a finished project for sure. So yeah, it's the third Sophie's shawl, Sophie scarf I've made this year. I don't know if I don't plan on making any other in 2026, but it's fairly quick, and so maybe it could be a gift knit if I need one. Then the two other work that were work in progress in July still are, unfortunately, but there's been some progress. This, I don't know if you've watched the previous video, I had these individual granny squares that I didn't know what to do with, and then I did sew them together, and first thing, I loved the sewing process of these. It was not a really traditional process. I used my blocking square and I placed them, and then like it was so fun. Like I did film some of it. I don't know if I still have the footage, but if I have, I'll try to put maybe a little clip. It was so fun. It felt very like a game that you could have like during your childhood, where you, I don't know, it was so fun. I really, really enjoyed it. And the result is, in my opinion, is looking pretty good of the sewing from both sides. Like, I guess this would be more the front, but I like also the more minimal look on the back. So yeah, the only problem here, I would have finished it, is that I don't have enough yarn to make the border here. So that just meant I abandoned it fully because I don't know what to do. This is a very white cotton yarn. I don't want to buy another ball just for that because I don't have something else to do with it. I do have some other color, like maybe a beige or like more off-white, so maybe I could make the border with an off-white, but the rest is very stark white, so I'm not sure if it would look very good. But I'm sure I'll do something with it, because I think in spring and summer this would be extremely cute to wear. It's a bit outside of my comfort zone, but I really like it. So I'm not gonna touch this in winter just because it's not very wintry, but I think I'll pick this up back in spring probably to finish this bandana so I can wear it. But that's it, and it's very cute. Unfortunately, zero progress on those. I think I am abandoning the idea of turning those into headbands. After blocking them, they are really loose, like really, really loose. And I don't know, I can't imagine making something I like with it. My current idea is that I would keep all of my gauge swatches, like I have one here, and maybe sew them all together to maybe make like a pillowcase or something like that in a little bit of a patchwork look. So I'm wondering if I could incorporate these in, because most of them would be squares, but maybe one, like a few rectangles could work as well. Maybe, but I'm not very motivated to do anything with them right now. It was a good learning curve to like make these, but that's yeah, nothing probably in the near future either. Okay, coming to the actual finished products from this quarter. I have everything in this beautiful notebook that I bought 7 years ago when I was in Laos, and I've never used it because it's just too beautiful and I didn't know what to do with it. It was like, you know, this very premium paper, like handmade and so on, so it was always too precious to use. And now this is my it's my knitting recorder my knitting diary, I guess. And I also, like, I paste on them, like I glue on them the yarn that I'm using so I can remember. So I'm very happy with actually like doing this. Anyway, first thing, yes, I went to India over like August and September for 6 weeks last summer, and the only thing I did, but it was very lengthy project, was those socks. It's the I am so basic socks by Summerly. It's a free pattern available on Ravelry, and it's a very I would say beginner friendly pattern, but it's so slow. It's made with 2.25, I think. Wait, let me double check. Yes, 2.25 millimeter needles, which is so small. You can probably see here. It gives a very like machine needed look. If my tension was more even, probably, but it was so slow. I really enjoyed the process. Only problem is I cast on too tight, I think, which led to a bit of a like smaller edge. I'll know for the future that if you can cast on looser to have a more stretchy edge, but it's okay, I still can wear it. Yeah, overall I really enjoyed the process. It was my first time making socks, and I think it turned out fairly okay, like pretty well. Yeah, I don't know if I would make socks with that small gauge often, because it just takes so long to make the two socks. And now it took me so long, I've never worn them because I'm afraid to damage them. Like, this is the most stupid thing, right? Like, you spend hours and days making something, and then because it took you so long, you never wear them. But that's worse, because that means, you know, I mean, I guess it's a common problem, but that's very frustrating. Anyway, I'm very happy with them. I didn't block them, I never washed them because they're too precious to me now. One thing I forgot, it's made with the yarn Arvetta by Phil Colana. This is the look of the look of the when you buy the ball of yarn, the skein of yarn. It's made with 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon, so it's supposed to be good for socks. I'm not an expert at all, so yeah, I need to block them probably. I don't know how to block socks either, but they fit fine like this, and I need to start wearing them. Very proud of my first socks. Yeah, that's all for them. Then my sister-in-law gifted me a little kit to make a plushie, little in crochet, a little animal plushie in crochet. This one is to make a little kraken, and here it is. It was very easy. Every steps are like detailed in great detail, with video tutorial. Like, it was, to me, I'm a very beginner crocheter. I'm not at all expert or intermediate, nothing. And very often I was just keeping the videos because they were just too detailed. So I think this is very available for absolutely everyone. It's very cute. It's fairly quick to do as well. Like, it builds very fast, and the outcome is very cute too. So I don't know if it's where it's available. My sister-in-law lives in the US, so she bought it in the US. But I don't know. I think it's a very good Christmas present as well for somebody who would like. I think it's a good Christmas present for somebody that likes to craft but maybe has never tried crochet, or somebody that wants to try crochet but is a bit intimidated. This is giving you really holding you by the hand as much as possible. So yeah, I also changed one thing that I changed is this. In the tutorial it makes it like an angry kraken, and I turned it into a cuter one because I didn't want it to be angry. Yeah, but that's my little kraken. I think, is it my first finished crochet project? Might be. Next, back to knitting. In September, when I came back from India, finished the socks, I didn't really know what to do, and so I took my same acrylic grey yarn that I got from my grandma, and I started my first beanie. This was very fast to make. It's all in 2x2 rib, I've kind of messed up the decreases at the top, so it doesn't look so clean. I think I was not doing the SSK or K2 together. I don't know, I don't even remember. But there's clearly something I was not doing right. That said, I don't think it shows too much when you wear it, sorry. And if you see it, please don't say it, because I'm gonna gift it to my dad for Christmas, so I don't want to hear any negative thing about it. I think it's a very good size. I was afraid it was gonna be too small, but it comes like just below the ears, my ears at least. Yeah, and I think it's pretty cute. And I don't remember which pattern I used. I used the free pattern. I think it was called the Fisherman's Beanie, but I'm not even sure. I don't remember the designer. I tried to find this morning the pattern so I could link it, but I couldn't find it again anymore. So yeah, unfortunately I can't say much, but it was very easy to follow. For a free pattern, usually like they can be a bit more scarce in explanation, but this one was very good. So yeah, this is my first beanie. I liked it. I think I would do it more. I dislike doing ribbing. I dislike like alternating between knitting and purling. I don't know if it's a common opinion. I dislike doing the ribbing. Like I'd rather be being only knitting or only purling rather than constantly switching. But you know, it makes it for like a very stretchy material, and I like the look of the ribbing a lot, so what can you do? Anyway, that's my first beanie. Could be much better in terms of decreases, but I'm still happy with it. Okay, we are slowly coming to the end. The next one is my second pairs of socks. Again, some hands needs to be weaved in on both sides. This is a Christmas present for one of my uncle. My Christmas present is a kit like of the perfect countryside man. They recently purchased a house in the countryside, and so one of the thing is a pair of woolen, like thick wool socks. I bought the yarn when I was in Helsinki in Finland in November, and so this is a Finnish yarn. It's called Lusty by Lankava. I don't know if this yarn is available anywhere. I bought it directly in a yarn shop, and this was recommended by the person there for knitting socks. She also recommended the double pointed needles that I bought as well, because I hadn't bring mine. And anyway, this is much larger needle, so it's this is knitted on 3.5 double pointed needle, and it shows this was so much faster to make than these ones. I mean, I guess it's very logical, but here there's a lot of ribbing, which are much slower than on stockinette, and still this was much slower. But I mean, there's probably a lot more rows, like I guess it makes sense. But anyway, this is the Sunday socks pattern by PetiteKnit. It was good. I find PetiteKnit's pattern very clear and very easy to follow as a still fairly beginner. The only thing is on the first one, my cast on was a bit too tight, so it's a bit tight here. I don't know if there would be a way of undoing the cast on and redoing it. I'm assuming, or like, you know, undoing that part and just casting off. I don't know. If it is too tight for my ankle, I'll have to find a way. But right now, I don't want to like take the risk of ruining my work. One thing that I changed, because my uncle has a wide feet, is I decreased less than it was recommended on the pattern, so to keep more stitches to do the foot part, so that it would be a wider foot. So it really shows like this, it's like very wide, but this is for a like man with a wide foot. And I don't want it to be too snugged, because then it's not that comfortable, I would say. So yeah, that's my second pair of socks. Beautiful color, this like forest green color. And yeah, second pair. I haven't blocked it either. I don't think I will, because I don't know if that's needed here. Maybe it should, but I don't want to take the risk of ruining them before giving it to him in a couple of days, like on the 25th, so in like 4 days literally. That's my second pair of socks. And last gift knit. Yeah, last gift knit. Now I think coming on to like this December knitting, I have a project that I'm finishing now. I need to weave in all the ends. As you can see, there are quite a few. And these are slippers. Let me find the name of the pattern. It's called Simple Garter Stitch Slippers. I still want to keep this open. So basically they are slippers that are knitted in back and forth, and then you just sew the back and sew the front with some like decreasing. I think it looks very nice. I started with like one skein, like one ball of yarn that I had for such a long time. It was gifted to me with like a little book, like Start to Knit Kids, something like that, that I've had for years, literally years, that I never did with it. Like at the time I was not knitting, so I didn't know it anyway. And I've started to make the back and forth in garter stitch, and I quickly realized that I wouldn't have enough to make a full slipper with it. So I split it to switch to the second one, and I arrived to a bit like around this size. And so after that I had to switch to a different color. At first I was like, okay, maybe I'll do it with my acrylic, and I'll do like a white and gray. But then I remembered that I have I have some like leftovers of this single ply yarn from Sostrene, like from a craft store, I don't know. Anyway, this leftovers, so I was like, oh, maybe I could use those to add some pop of color. And I've never done intarsia ever in my life, and instead of looking for some instructions, which I should have done, I was like, how hard can it be? And I went in without knowing anything or thinking anything, which is why I made some like beginner's mistake. I have like kind of a hole here because I just winged it. For something that is being winged though, I'm pretty happy with the result. Here on this, the green on the first sock is kind of a horrible job, because you can see this should have been on the wrong side, like not on the right side. There's a lot of things that I couldn't figure out how to do properly. So, this is not the most beautiful job. The pink, not bad. I think the pink looks pretty good. The green here, I clearly struggled, but it's okay, like especially for something that is at home, like a wear, it's a slipper, it's okay, like it's a good experimentation. And now I feel like I started my first real intarsia project, and having struggled a bit, like it helps like forcing you to really understand what's going on. So I'm not mad about it. And this was the second slipper, which looks, if I put it like this rather, it looks a lot better, I would say. So already by then I had, improved a bit. They are not fully done. This one, I've weaved in fully the ends, but this one I still have to. This is kind of becoming my on-the-go project, because my current project is very takes a lot of space, so it's not something I can bring with me. So yeah, whenever I go out and I think I might have some knitting time, I'm bringing this and weaving the ends at the bar, at the restaurant, waiting in the waiting room, whatever, in the bus. And there is a lot of ends to, oh God, it looks a bit crazy like this, to weave in. So yeah, but there's no rush. Up. So that's it for the slippers. And after all of those accessories, I was craving so much starting a jumper. Like, I've been doing exclusively accessories for the past 6 months, and I was so ready for something else. And so I started, I don't know if this, oh my God. It's my first Intarsia project, and it shows. I feel like I'm probably doing a lot of beginner's mistakes, and it's such, like, the yarn is always tangled. I feel like I spend as much time knitting as I spend time untangling the different skein of yarn. It's even but I thoroughly enjoy the knitting process. I love seeing slowly like the pattern showing. Maybe I should mention what pattern it is. It's the Seven Sisters Vest by Megan Faith Makes. I mentioned it in my winter knitting plan, which is the previous video I shared on about knitting, that I really couldn't wait to work on this. So here I am. I bought the exact yarn recommended in the pattern. It's Drops Air, which now I end up with like a lot of yarn. That's, I think, my main concern, or the main thing I dislike about this pattern is that it used a lot of small quantities of yarn. So I'm gonna have so much like half-used balls of Drops Air in so many colors, which I'm not criticizing, is something that, of course, like when you buy a pattern that has, like, I can see, right, like I could see on the photos that there was a lot of different colors used in very small quantity. Like, there's absolutely no surprise, and I've no right to complain. Like, it's not like something that was disguised or like hidden. Like, it's right here when you look at the photo. I naively didn't think about it at all, and so now I'm just like a bit like, you know, what am I gonna do with all of those? I feel like it will increase a lot my stash. It requires a lot of balls to use like very small quantity. Like, the worst one, I guess, is that like this brown, like I've used like what, barely anything. So I feel like, maybe I can show, like, now I have like full ball almost. Anyway, I feel like it would be a perfect project for somebody that has a lot of yarn in their stash, and that can like kind of use this as a stash buster, and not using the exact, like, not buying new yarns, but using yarns that you already have. I don't know if it would work, because you need, of course, them to be like similar in texture and weight, but people that are more advanced than me would probably manage to find a way around that. The second thing is, I'm not a fan of the yarn. Mainly, I find it like, I don't know if I'm allergic to it, but it's very fuzzy. And so there's a lot of like fiber that is flying around, and anytime I'm manipulating it, I find like my like airways, like my respiratory ways feels a bit stuck, or like feel like a bit stuffy. Like my nose gets blocked. I feel like I have the feeling that I have some of the fibers in my throat. Is it like a placebo effect, or is it like, am I imagining it? Maybe, but I don't really like that. That said, the yarn is super soft. I guess you can't have everything, right? But yeah, I'm not too much of a fan of the yarn. It also has some plastic in it, like the polyamide, I think. I don't remember. Let me check, because I have a lot of balls. Yeah, polyamide. It's 65% alpaca, 28% polyamide, and 7% wool. So yeah, I don't know if this is just in my head that I might be allergic or having a light reaction to it, but this is it. Also, another thing that is absolutely not, this is fully my fault, is this pattern is not that straightforward to follow, or you're not really guided much, but the pattern is mentioned that it is for level intermediate, so people that are intermediate don't need to be taken by the hand. So it's fully on me. I was too impatient of doing it before it was my level, and so I'm like, okay, like I have like very, typically I end up with those very big floats, like here for example, and I'm like, okay, there must have been, I'm sure that people that are more advanced, they would have found a way against, like, not to have this, and like it's almost like, to avoid this you need to think about it the row before, and it's absolutely not something I did, or I don't know. And I would have loved being like a bit taken by the hand of, like, when you have this case, do this, when you have that case, do that, when the next row there's like a lot of color that goes forward, that will go forward, you do this, I don't know. But this would be a beginner friendly pattern, which this is not. Like, it's not made to be a beginner friendly pattern, so I'm not at all accusing or complaining. I was too impatient to start this. I'm very happy I'm starting it now. It's a good learning curve. I hope I will still be right now from the front it looks very good. I think I'm very happy with how it looks. The back is probably shows a bit that I'm a beginner maybe, but honestly it's not that bad either. One thing that I forgot to mention when I was talking about the quantity of yarn, it was like mentioned that for this grass quantity I needed like 10 meters extra to what one ball was. I was like, no, I'm not gonna buy a second ball for 10 meters. So what I did in the beginning is because you hold two strands at all time. So I was like, okay, there's no way. So I was holding in the very beginning one strand of this one and one strand of another green you use later on, thinking like, okay, rather than buying extra yarn, let's find a way around it, like, you know, to avoid that, because it feels a bit wasteful. So now I feel like because I have a lot left, I was like, okay, like, am I going to use that after? Because how is that, like, where do we need this quantity where it would have been more than one ball? I'm a bit confused. Maybe I did like some wrong math, but yeah, I don't know. Or am I doing anything wrong? Again, I don't know. Or maybe I'll use it in the back. I don't know. But I'm having an excellent time knitting this. That's basically all I want to do all day, every day. If I'm listening to my, myself, I would just start straight away when I wake up in the morning, not work and do that all day, and go to bed very late because I don't want to stop. That's where I'm at. And it, of course, like, this is 8mm needle, so this is growing very fast. For reference, I received the yarn on Wednesday. It's Sunday today. I cast it on Friday or Thursday, because I did the gauge swatch on Thursday, I think. And so I have like 3 days of work, and absolutely not full day, like just a few hours here and there, and it's growing very, very fast. So this is very nice, and I'm really looking forward to have the finished project. yeah, I think I've talked more than enough about this, and obviously because it's in progress, I'll talk more in the next episode as well. Okay, talking about my next project briefly, there is two. The first thing is, in the same order I made for the Seven Sisters vest, I was missing like a few euros to have the free delivery, and I was, you know, I feel like this is a scam. Like I ended up spending a lot more to buy a few skein of more drops hair before I knew that I feel like a bit reactive to it. But anyway, to make a balaclava, so that would be my next project, is to make this like headscarf in this beautiful like butter yellow. I think this is a color that should suit me fairly well as a soft summer, I think. I'm not so sure, so I think it should work. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so this will probably be started as soon as I'm done with this. And I also, when I was in Helsinki last month, in a secondhand shop, we found some balls of the drops nipple. At the time I didn't know how much it was worth, but I was like, oh, €3 for one ball, this is so cheap. Well, turned out not that much. But I bought all of the quantity that was there. I think I have now 10 balls of yarn, thinking it was like such a good deal. Okay, wasn't, but that's okay. I much prefer the feeling of this. I mean, it's less soft than the drops hair, but it's less fuzzy as well, which I like. And I feel like I would be less reactive to it. It's made of 65% wool, 35% alpaca, so fully natural. That's really nice. And this is not for me because black is not really in my color season, or it's not at all in my color season, but black suits my husband so well. So I've agreed when we bought it that I'll make him at some point a sweater. We've decided on the sweater as well. If I find it, I'll share, because I absolutely don't remember the name, but it's a beautiful sweater with this like nice texture on it. That is everything I've worked on in the past 6 months. If you're still here, thank you for watching till the end, and I really appreciate, and I wish you a good start of the year. I think this is gonna come in January already, so I hope you had happy holidays and enjoy the winter season to slow down and eat a lot. See you, bye.